Let me ask you a question. Why is it that two people can acquire the same degree, go to the same university, live in the same city, have access to the same level of opportunity, and 5 to 10 years after, one is thriving while the other one struggles? Why? Is it luck? I don't think so. Is it intelligence? I don't think so. Is it certificate? Of course not. Why? Well, it is skills. The skills you have or you lack will determine how far you will go. It will determine the type of life you will live. Back in the days, the formula for success is go to school, get the most fanciful degree, and you will be successful. Well, that's not the case anymore. If it is the case, the most educated people will be the most successful people. The goalpost has shifted. The new formula for success is skills acquisition. The type of skills you have matters. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you 5 critical skills that will help you remain relevant and successful. It doesn't matter if you are just starting, even if you are starting from zero. It doesn't matter if you've started already. This video will change your life. Also, I will share with you how you can get those skills. I won't just tell you acquire these skills. I am going to show you how you can get these skills. Talent is obviously not enough. There are a lot of talented yet miserable people. Skills is what is more than enough. Your ability to utilize your knowledge to perform a task and perform it so well will change your life. What exactly are these skills that separates the best from the rest? Separate the kings from mere men. Number one, communication skill. If you cannot effectively communicate, you will likely struggle in life. Think about it. It doesn't matter how intelligent or smart you are. How will you convey your intelligence or smartness to people if you can't effectively communicate? Well, that is why you have to make sure you master how to communicate. It affects every aspect of your life. It affects your income, relationship, business. It affects your career progression. You can't do without communicating. We all are social animals. We have to interact with people. You have to know how to tell people what you want. You have to know how to tell people what you are capable of doing. All this can only be done through mastering how to effectively communicate. Two people can say the same thing in different ways and achieve different results. For example, if you are a social media manager, you go for an interview, the interviewer asks you to talk about yourself, and the next thing you say is, I'm a social media manager, I can help you do your advertisements. The other person says, I'm a social media manager. In the last 5 years, I've been able to work on over 3,000 campaigns with 85% success rate. If you give me this opportunity, I will replicate the same success for you. If you are an interviewer, who will you likely go for? Person A or person B? You will likely go for person B. Why? Well, because the second person effectively communicated their value. There's no shortcut to getting ahead if you cannot effectively communicate. So you have to remember that it is not just verbal, it is also non-verbal. For example, your body language, your facial expression, all those things matters. Your tonality, it matters. You have to know that communication is beyond verbal. It also includes listening. Your ability to listen matters too. Now, how do you become a better communicator? How do you become someone worth listening to? How do you become someone that effectively convey information and achieve their desired goal with that information? Well, I'm still on a journey myself. but here are some tips that has helped me so far. Number one, practice structured thinking. Before you speak, ask yourself, what exactly is my main point? This gives you clarity. And once you have clarity about what you want to say, you will likely make good points. You would likely communicate better. Second way is to record yourself regularly. Record yourself speaking. One of the reasons why I'm doing this video is because I want to become a better communicator. Record yourself, speak to your camera, set up your camera in your room. You can do that. Number three is to read and write regularly. Most people underestimate the power of reading and writing. Reading and writing gives you not just new knowledge, but also makes you a better thinker and a better communicator. Number four will be observing great speakers. You probably have seen people give speeches and you will be like, wow, this person really touched me. Well, it is a skill. You can learn it by observing them. Lastly, be intentional about listening. You can't be a good communicator without being a good listener. A good listener is a good communicator. Intentionally listen. Don't be in hurry to speak every time. Be in hurry to listen. Listen attentively, not with intention to reply, but with intention to understand. If you can do these five things consistently, you will become a better communicator. Now, let's move to the next point. The second most important skill you need to have is to learn how to learn. You need to learn how to learn. We live in a fast changing world. According to World Economic Forum 2023 Outlook, it states that 44% of core job skills will change in the next 3 to 5 years. What that means is that 44% of some of the knowledge, some of the skills you use in your current job will likely change in the next 3 to 5 years. You can either be out of jobs or you learn new skills so that you'll be able to do your job better. We live in a fast changing world. Artificial intelligence, automation, green energy transition from fossil fuel to clean energy, geopolitical tension. For example, Ukraine Russia war has been on for 4 years now. All these are making the world change at a very fast pace. What that means for you is that you need to develop ability to learn. Think about it. Several high paying roles such as digital marketing, product management, data analytics, business analysis, among others, barely existed 20 to 25 years ago. That gives you an idea of the future. Most skills you have right now won't be useful in the next few years. For you to move from a phase of novice to mastery in anything, you have to be very good with learning. When it comes to learning, there are four major phases. How fast you can go from the first phase to the last phase shows how good you are with learning. The first phase is called unconscious incompetence. This is the phase that you don't know that you don't know. It's a phase of ignorance. The second phase is called unconscious incompetence. Conscious incompetence is a phase that you now know that I lack these skills, I lack this knowledge, and you contemplate. The third phase is conscious competence. This is the phase where you decide to learn and you do everything possible to be a master. Is the phase where you gather knowledge, is the phase where you learn everything about what you don't know. While the last phase is called unconscious competence. This is when what you know has become so part of you that you can do it without thinking too much about it. It is the phase of mastery. It is the phase where you can even teach or mentor others. How fast you can go from to the phase of unconscious competence is a function of how good you are with learning. So, how can you be very good with learning? How can you move from novice to mastery on any subject or on anything you want to learn? Number one is decide what you want to learn and why you want to learn it. Most people underestimate the power of asking yourself why. Asking yourself, why exactly do I want to learn this skill? Or why do I need to acquire this knowledge? It gives you clarity. It helps you focus on what you need to focus on and neglect what you need to neglect. Most people focus their attention on, on what they don't even need. So asking yourself, why do I want to learn this skill? Why do I need this new knowledge? Will help accelerate your learning prospect, or it will help give your learning more meaning. The second is to decide how you want to learn it. There are various ways of learning what you want to learn, whether that is through getting a course, registering for a class, going on YouTube or other learning platform, getting a mentor. How you have to decide how you want to learn what you want to learn. Number three is avoid overconsumption. Most people just keep learning without doing anything, without putting into practice what they've learned. So avoid overconsumption. You don't need all the knowledge at the beginning. What you need is beginner knowledge. What you need is introductory knowledge. So avoid overconsumption at the beginning of your learning process. The fourth tip for effective learning is practice and practice some more. You don't become a master by just acquiring knowledge. You become a master by putting into practice what you've learned. Practice, build something. You need to build something. It is not enough for you to watch videos of how to do something. You have to get your hands dirty and actually get it done. The fifth tip is ask for feedback. After you build something, after you practice, make sure you ask for feedback from mentors, from friends, from family. Ask for feedback. The sixth tip is for you to refine. You have to utilize those feedbacks to become a better person, to become better skilled at what you are learning. That is how you can become an effective learner. How fast you can combine all the five steps will determine how good you will be with learning. Remember, you don't have choice than to be very good with learning. The third important skill you need to have is financial literacy. This is your ability to make money, manage money, grow money, and protect money. Most people live to paycheck. They go to work, get paid, pay their bills, and back to work again. This is not the best way to live. The best way to live is to understand money and use the principle of money to buy yourself freedom and abundance. How can you do that? It is by learning about money. For example, a financially literate person knows that a portion of any amount you make is meant to be kept. A financially literate person knows about debt, knows good debt is different from bad debt, knows about taxes, insurance, risk management, importance of emergency funds, investing, why you should invest, how you should invest, the type of investment to avoid. All these are part of financial literacy and can be learned. You can learn them. You can learn how to make money, how to manage money, and how to invest money, how to make your money work for you. Automation is another aspect of financial literacy. Most of my bills are automated. They are automatically deducted from my account. With that, I can automate my savings. I don't have to think about it. I can automate my investment, automate my spending. A financially literate person knows about budgeting, knows how to track income and expenditures. All these are different aspects of financial literacy and they can be learned. If you are going to move from that survival mode to becoming financially independent, you need to know how money works. You need to be financially literate. You need to get yourself enrolled, read books about money, take courses about money, attend conferences where people talk about money. You can do it and you should do it. If you are going to thrive, you need to develop your financial literacy skill. The fourth most important skill you need to have is personal leadership. This is your ability to lead yourself. I once saw a quote that says, when I was foolish, I wanted to change the world. When I became wise, I focused on changing myself. You see, everything rise and fall on leadership, according to John Maxwell. Your ability to lead yourself is critical to your success. We live in a heavily distracted world. Lots of things cause for our attention online and offline. We have valid reasons why we shouldn't be successful. We have valid reasons why things shouldn't go or work well for us. But those are just excuses. What will make a difference is how well you are leading yourself. What are your habits? What do you do in your closet? Do you live your life based on motivation, based on your faith, on discipline? If you live life based on discipline, you will go far in life. If you live life based on feeling, you will barely make it in life. It is important you focus on leading yourself right. You focus on managing your attention, managing your time, managing your emotion. Everything rise and fall on leadership. Anything that will come out of your life is based on how well you are leading yourself. The type of company you keep, your association, is based on how you yourself. How you spend your money is based on how well you are leading yourself. What you do part time is based on how well you are leading yourself. Where you go to or where you don't go to is based on how well you are leading yourself. Can I ask you, are you leading yourself right? Are you doing all it takes to become successful? Are you doing all it takes to emerge like a lotus in the pond? Are you giving in to excuses rather than fighting for your life by doing the right thing? All these are based on how well you are leading yourself. So, how do you become a better leader of yourself? Number one, don't just set goals, build system to help you achieve your goal. It is not enough to say you want to go to the gym. What systems have you put in place to make going to gym easier for you? It is not enough to say you want to save more money. What system have you put in place? For example, automating your savings and expenditures is an example of system. So don't just set goals. Make sure you are building system that will help you achieve your goal. Number two ways to become a better leader of yourself is don't depend on your feeling. Focus on discipline. Don't do things because you feel like doing it. Do things because you have to do it. Do things because it is important, it is necessary for you to do it. Whether you feel like it or you don't feel like it, make sure you are showing up. Number three is tracking your progress. You have to measure what you don't measure, you cannot make better. So track your progress. How well have you hold yourself accountable or make someone hold you accountable? How well are you doing? What can you do better? What can you do differently? All this will help you become a better leader of yourself. A book I'm going to recommend to you is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I am also going to recommend my book, How to Create Massive Results. If you read this book, it will change your life. Let me tell you some of the chapters that is in it. Relationship vitality, how to move from novice to mastery, be phenomenal or be forgotten, pain is a gift, significance of self-awareness, small beginnings shouldn't make you small-minded, author a new future, focus on your focus, gratitude is everything, take charge, consistency is key. The three important gates you need to protect. There are other chapters in the book, so make sure you get my book, How to Create Massive Results in Minimum Time. You can get more information in the description section. Get my book. The last critical skill you need to have is sales and persuasion. I know most people dread the word sales, but think about it. You are already selling. In fact, we can't do without selling. If you are married or in a relationship, it is because you sold your personality, you sold your style. That is why you are in a relationship. If you are in paid employment, you must have sell something for your employer to employ you. Your competence, what you bring to the company. That is why your employer chooses you over someone else. Now, you have to be intentional about mastering persuasion and sales. Most people's problem with selling is because they see selling differently from what selling is. Selling is not manipulation. Selling is not begging people or trying to collect money from people. Selling is simply helping people to make better decisions, which includes buying from you, whether that is your product or buying your service or buying your competence. So you have to be very good with selling. It doesn't matter whether you're in a paid employment because you have to sell yourself to get promotion. If you're in business, you have to sell yourself to acquire customers. An example of selling is storytelling. You have to be able to tell stories that people can key into, that will enable people make decision. You have to be your selling skills. That is an important skill that you cannot do without if you want to break through and make it big in life. Now that you know the skills you need to learn, how do you move from just knowing the skills you need to learn to mastering these skills? Number one, switch your mindset from consumption to practitioner. Most people are consumers. Most of us don't lack knowledge. Most of us lack action. If you are not just going to be the same after watching this video, you have to have that mindset that I want to do something about what I've learned today. I want to make sure I practice what I've learned today. I want to make sure I won't just have the knowledge of what I need to do. I will do something to get it done. I will move from just buying endless courses to actually taking those courses. I will move from just watching random videos on communication to actually practicing communicating. This is the only way out for you. You can't move from where you used to be to where you want to be without having a mindset of a practitioner, without having a mindset of a doer. There are a couple of advice in this video, but I think one you shouldn't joke with is you have to move from a consumer to a practitioner. That is the only way you can build these skills. Second step to mastering all these skills is to acquire one skill at a time. Imagine a hunter trying to hunt several animals at a time. Well, the hunter might end up missing all targets. That is the same thing with you. You have to think of yourself as a hunter trying to hunt several skills, trying to learn several skills. It is better and more promising for you to focus on mastering one of the skills, become a master in one of the skill before trying to become a master in all at once. If it is communication you want to focus on it. If it is sales and persuasion you want to focus on it. If it is financial literacy you want to focus on it. In fact, becoming a master of one will even help you to become better with acquiring the other skills. You have to go deep before going wide. Go deep by mastering one of the skills before going wide to master other skills. That is not to say that you can't learn more than one skill at a time, but it is advisable for you to focus on becoming better with one before you focus on others. Don't be a jack of all trade and master of none. Focus on being a master of one before you become a jack of all other skills you are now aware you should be learning. The third step is something I've talked about earlier. It is apply the learn, do, feedback, refine framework. Learn means learning. You have to learn. Whatever skill you want to learn, you have to focus on knowing more about it. Second is doing. That is moving from just knowing to practicing. The third step is feedback. Asking for feedback from people, from your mentors, your friends, and family. The fourth step is refining. You have to refine based on your feedback, based on new knowledge. You have to focus on becoming better. Don't just learn, make sure you are doing. Don't just do, make sure you are asking for feedback. Don't just ask for feedback, make sure you are using those feedback to become a better person with the skills you are learning. I've mentioned this before in the earlier part of the video, but it is important I reinstate it again so that you know the importance of applying this framework. Learn, do, feedback, and refine framework. If you apply this framework, you will find it easier to master all these skills. The fourth step is to have a timeline and clearly define outcome. Let me explain. If you want to focus on your financial literacy skill, you can tell yourself that in the next 90 days, I'm going to focus on my financial literacy skill. And at the end of the 90 days, I must be able to track all my income and expenses, have a budget, save 20% of my income, invest at least £50 to £100 of my money. All these are clearly defined outcomes. By having a timeline, it will aid your consistency. You have to know that consistency beats intensity. It is not a matter of how hard you go, it's a matter of how consistent you will be. If you focus on getting better with your financial literacy skill for 90 days, you will surely see difference at the end of the 90 days if you follow through. So have a timeline for the skills or any of the skill you want to learn with a clearly defined outcome you want to achieve at the end of the timeline you give yourself. The fifth step is to track your progress. You can't improve what you don't measure. You can't make better what you are not tracking. Let me explain. I always love to think of tracking in twofold. The first aspect is the input aspect. What am I inputting? How much work am I putting in? The second aspect is the output aspect, which is what is the result? What result am I getting? What can I see visibly that shows that I'm making progress? For example, the input aspect might be time spent. How much time have I spent this week on learning how to communicate better, on learning how to improve my personal leadership, on learning how to sell better? That's the input aspect. You should track that. The second aspect is the output aspect. It could be how much have I saved? How much have I invested? How much time have I put on my camera and actually speak? Have I listened better this week? All these are output based tracking. When you see that you are making progress, you will build momentum, have inward motivation to do better. You will hold yourself accountable better if you track your progress. If you are going to master any of these skills, you have to also be very good with tracking your progress. Track your input and also track your output. The last step is have accountability structure. I remember when I was learning copywriting skill, I had a friend that was holding me accountable. I had to send him one sales letter per week. Failure to do that means I was going to pay him a certain amount of money. Because I don't want to lose my money to my friend, I always ensure that I meet up with one sales letter per week. Till I became very good with copywriting, I did that. And I never had to pay him. I could have given excuses if he was not holding me accountable. You should have someone you are too afraid to disappoint. That is the power of accountability. By surrounding yourself with accountability partners, you will surely or you will likely be more interested in mastering any of the skills that we've mentioned earlier, whether that's communication, financial literacy, sales and persuasion, personal leadership, and others. It is important you put accountability structure in place. It will change your life and help you learn these skills better. So how can you learn all these skills? Number one is through books. Books are body of knowledge. There's a popular quote that says, a reader is a leader. If you want to be a leader in all these skills, then you have to read books. For example, books on finances can help your financial literacy skill. This book is a very good book that really helped my financial literacy skill. Psychology of Money is another good book that really helped my financial literacy skill. If you want to improve your personal leadership, you should get my book, How to Create Massive Results in Minimum Time. You can find the link in the description section. And it doesn't have to be physical books too. You can have audiobooks. I have audiobooks. You can have Kindle version. You can have ebooks. There are books in different formats. You can become better with some of these skills through books. Another way to learn is through courses, by taking courses, especially if you prefer a more structured approach to learning. Almost anything you want to learn has courses for it. There are courses on communication, courses on financial literacy, courses on sales and marketing. You just have to do your own research and find out what works best for you. There are free courses, there are paid courses. There are also various learning platforms such as edX, LinkedIn Learning, Coursera, Udemy, and so on. You just have to do your research. There are free courses, there are paid courses, even YouTube. There are tons of course creators on YouTube that have quality content that you can learn from. So you should learn from courses. Another way to learn is through community or subject specific groups or society. This one is a life changer. It is like learning on the job. This has personally helped me. For example, if you want to improve your public speaking, you should consider joining Toastmasters International. By joining Toastmasters International, you won't just give speeches, you will also receive feedbacks from other Toastmasters, and this will be incredible for you in your public speaking journey. If you want to improve your leadership, you can also join JCI. So find out subject specific groups that align with what you want to learn. Join them and make sure you are active. You will learn on the job by doing so. Another way to learn is through internships. People underestimate the power of signing up for an internship program. I'm very good with advertising. How did I become so good with advertising across multiple digital platforms? Well, it was because I signed up for an internship with a company. Don't sleep on internship. Find out companies that will help you develop the skills you really want to develop and sign up for their internship program. You will be amazed at what difference that will make. Lastly, another way I develop my skill is reading industry specific blogs. That is always a game changer. Find out blogs in your industries written by experts in your industry. You'll be amazed at how much you'll be learning from them. Now that you've learned the 5 critical skills, it is important that you also know that one of the skills is not enough. You have to evaluate yourself. Which of these skills do I have right now? Which of them do I lack? Which of them do I need to improve on as a matter of urgency? You have to have this conversation with yourself. If you can master these 5 skills, the world is waiting for your manifestation. You are not just going to excel, but you are going to thrive excellently. Thank you for joining me. If this video add value to you, there are other videos that will surely add value to you on this channel. Make sure you check them out. Thank you for joining me. Like, comment, share. For more videos like this, you should sign up to my email list. You will see the link in the description box. It will change your life. I share personal leadership, marketing and sales lesson, and personal finance lesson. Make sure you check it out and sign up for the email.